All right, so we talked a little bit about how to rate your images in slideshow mode, but now let's take a look at how to sort, rate, and rotate those images here inside of the bridge itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup this stack that we've created. I'm going to do that simply by coming up to the Stacks menu. I'm going to choose Ungroup from Stack, or you could use Control-Shift-G, or on the Mac, Command-Shift-G, and that would ungroup those images. And we have the ability now to just select one image at a time simply by clicking on it right here in the content window. Now you'll notice here that this image automatically has the 5-star rating that we applied to it while we were in slideshow mode, but if you wanted to change that, all you'd have to do is hold down the Control or the Command key and hit whatever number corresponded to the particular star rating you wanted to give that image. So for instance, if you think this is like a 4-star image, you could hit Control 4 and it would automatically change that star rating to a 4-star rating. The same is true for all the rest of these images. Let's say that you thought this was a 4-star image as well. Go ahead and hit Control 4 again and you would go ahead and add that 4-star rating to these. Now, what is the point of rating images? Well, rating images is a great way to see exactly the top-notch photographs that you have from a particular shoot, and then it's also a great way, in my opinion, to narrow down to what images you're going to use for a particular project. So let's say that you have several images of the same model and you're considering them for a magazine cover or something like that. You could start out rating them and you could choose to see only the 5-star images once you're done rating them, and then you could dwindle those down and rate those again, and then dwindle those down and rate those again. And what that's going to do is just help you get through and filter through all of your results until you get the absolute best image from the pack. So if you want to start filtering these, the easiest way to do that is by using Photoshop's new filtering pane. That's over here on the left-hand side, and you'll see here that we have the ability to sort. Let's see here if we want to see all of the ones with no rating. All I did was click right beside the words no rating. As you see here, there's 9 files that have no rating. Now, if I wanted to see all of the ones with 4-star ratings, I could simply click to turn off the no rating and then click to turn on the 4-star rating. So there's all the photographs that have 4-star ratings. Now, so click once to turn that filter on, click once to turn it off, and when you have no filtering type selected, then you can see all of your images here. Let's go ahead now and we'll take a look at some of the other ways you can filter your images here inside of Bridge. I'm going to shrink down the metadata pane just so we have a little bit more room to view this here. Let's take a look at some of these. You can sort by file type here. So let's see, we want to see all the JPEG files. For instance, there's 10 JPEG files in this particular folder of images. Or we want to see all the Photoshop documents. There's a native Photoshop document right there. Or we want to see only the TIFF images. There's the TIFF image by itself right there in the content window. If you wanted to preview these images, of course, simply click on them in the content window to bring them up in the preview pane there, and you'll be able to view those images at your full magnification. Now, you can also sort by keywords, and we don't have any keywords assigned to these images, but we're going to fix that in just a moment. I'm going to show you how to add keywords to these images, so we'll go ahead and uncheck that for right now, because as I said, we don't have any keywords, so there's no sense in filtering by those. We can also sort by date created, like today, or we can sort by date created such as 4/28/2007. Any date that you want to see here, just click beside that date. And if you don't want to see that particular date, go ahead and click beside it to turn it off. As I said, click once to turn it on, click once to turn it off. Very simple to do. Now let's go ahead and scroll down here and we'll take a look at some of the better options that I really enjoy here in the filtering pane. You have the ability to sort now by landscape and portrait orientation. So if you want to see only the photographs with a portrait orientation, you click on portrait. If you want to see only the landscape oriented photographs, go ahead and click on landscape. Or you can see all of the square photographs as well, things that come close to being even on all 4 sides. So there are 2 files with that particular aspect ratio here inside of this particular folder of images. Now, how am I getting all of these numbers that I'm throwing out? You notice I say, well, there's 9 types of this file. There's 1 type of this file. You'll notice out here on the right-hand side that there's little numbers out here that indicate exactly how many images of whatever particular filter parameter there are in a particular set of images. So, for instance, right now you can see I have 2 square images, 1 portrait image, and 9 landscaped images. So this is just another way they're adding in here to help you get better organized and for you to sort through all of these photographs a little bit easier and gain access to the exact photo that you're looking for. I'm going to go ahead now, turn off that filtering so we see all the rest of them there. And you can also sort, this is probably my favorite, the ability to sort by aspect ratio. So if you wanted to see a 1:1 ratio, which is pretty much square, or if you want to see 2:3, 3:4, or 4 to 5. So the ability to sort by aspect ratio and orientation are two of the most important things in my opinion, because if I'm looking for a particular shot, a lot of times the difference between portrait and landscape is exactly what I'm looking for. So if I have a particular shot of a model that I shot portrait, a lot of times I'll be looking for the landscape photograph, and it's very easy to sort through those simply by clicking on these filter parameters here on the left hand side. Now you can also sort by ISO speed ratings. You can sort by copyright information, which is probably the most useful for those of you who are photo editors and are fielding multiple images from several different photographers. If we had copyright notices assigned to any number of these photographs here, we could simply click on the copyright notice of that particular photographer and see only the photos that were done by that specific photographer. So that's an amazing thing in and of itself, to be able to see only the images from one particular photographer. If you happen to be fielding all of these different images from all these different photographers, like if you're a news editor, a magazine publisher, or anybody like that, this is a tool that is really going to save you some time. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to resize the metadata pane up a little bit, and we'll go ahead now and we'll take a look at the keywords panel here on the left hand side as well. So let's go ahead now and we'll show you exactly how to go ahead and assign some keywords to this. For instance, if I want to assign keywords to all of the flower images here in this particular set of images, let's go ahead and select a few of them now. I'll go ahead and shift click to select these images here. And we're going to add a new keyword set first of all. So I'm going to come down here and click on this little folder icon that says create new keyword set. And when I do that, I can just call this flowers and go ahead then and hit enter or return to commit to that change. And now I have that new set created in there. And now what I want to do is start creating individual keywords here. So I'll go ahead and create a new keyword here, and I'll say flowers. And so that's just going to create that flowers keyword for all of those particular images I have selected. So I can go ahead now and I can hit return or enter on the keyboard, and that's going to commit that to that new keyword set that we had there. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this set again because I'm going to add another keyword to it. So I'm going to go ahead and create new keyword, and I'm going to call this orange. And so we've got that set as the new keyword there. We'll go ahead and hit enter or return again to commit to that. Select this one more time, and we'll create one more keyword in here, pink. Go ahead and hit enter or return to commit to that. So now what we need to do is we need to start assigning these keywords to these particular images here. I know that all of these are flowers, so I can go ahead and I can check that on there, that all of those are flowers. However, I don't want to assign all of these different keywords down in here to each individual image. So I can go ahead now and I'll select these individually, and I'll just turn on and off the ones that don't apply to a specific image. For instance, this is not an orange flower, so I'll turn orange off. So now I have pink flowers applied to just this image. Same is true for these. Now these are all orange flowers, so I can just shift click these, and then I can just simply come in here and turn off the pink. So now we have these keywords specifically set to those images that we selected there, and they're applied to those. So if we wanted to run a search here inside of Bridge to see all of the specific images that correspond to that particular keyword, we could do so, or we could come back to the filter pane and we could say, show me all of the images with flowers as the keyword, and it would show you all those images there on the right hand side. Or if I wanted to see only the orange flowers, I could just go ahead and click orange and then deselect the overall flowers tag, and you would only see those orange flowers within that keyword set. Same is true if I wanted to see just the pink. Go ahead and deselect the orange and then select the pink, and you would see only that one particular pink photograph. So you can see how this is another powerful way of sorting and viewing your images by adding keywords to effectively manage your digital photographs.